prohibitive, that security is difficult in more rural locations. And so I think the idea was to craft something that allowed for family farmers and small production facilities, not as extensive cost burden for security and tracking. That being said, the legislature, so there's statute and administrative rules. So the legislature creates statute, and administrative agencies like OLCC or OHA create administrative rules. So what these bills do is give either OHA or OLCC the ability to write rules around the statutory language. So in this case, it would, if you created a tracking system under the OHA, and actually I'm gonna stop saying tracking light because the truth is none of us know what OHA is going to do. They said they have money to create a tracking system, and so I think we should stop calling tracking light because I think it's misleading because none of us know what OHA is going to do. But I think the idea is to create a less burdensome system under the OHA for people who are going to remain medical cultivators, medical distributors, and medical processors. That is what I think it will be, but I don't know because OHA has been very non-participating in this conversation. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, with this tax and everything, law enforcement wants to get a big chunk of this money, so now they're all in bed with us all in the medical marijuana business. Are they going to protect us like they should because we're paying them these taxes? And the other point of my question is, with all this, is who's going to enforce these rules? The sheriffs, local police departments, the feds? Who's going to enforce these rules that these guys are trying to create without even our knowledge of what we're doing? Because all they've ever done is attack us and take us and put us in prison and all this other BS. Now they want to have our money and taxes and everything. Now, are they going to protect us and our crops? You talk about security now, and if we're paying these people money for a job, which says, what does it say that their job is? Protect and serve, right? Isn't that what it says? And the other part here is, we're all missing this point right now. Are they, a small group of people, going to make their own rules for the majority of the people that live in Oregon? Or are the people of Oregon going to be able to vote for what they want, like they voted for these rules right now? So they want to change.
Let me, because they're only let me talk for a few more minutes. So I mean, I know this sounds like kind of a harsh reality check, but I'm going to start from the back and go to the front of your question. So I mean, this is what happens. So ballot measure 91 said OLCC gets to make rules. That's what ballot measure said. And ballot measure 91 said a bunch of other things too, but essentially it created a recreational system. And that recreational system, the enforcement agency is OLCC. The promulgating rule agency is OLCC. And I mean, there are a lot of laws I don't like. There are a lot of rules I don't like. However, that's what the ballot measure language said. And so the answer is OLCC is going to make some rules. And they're going to be the enforcing agency. And they are going to have, and have requested their own law enforcement powers, just like they have for liquor. And if you are cultivating under rec, they're going to enforce them. And if you're cultivating under OHA, I've been told they'll come to your house. I mean, I thought that was silly that they were willing to do that and kind of unsafe for you and unsafe for them. But I mean, they're going to do inspections. I mean, that is the direction this is moving. And you know, I don't think it's just the way that looks. And I wish I could make that better somehow or easier somehow. But you know, agencies create rules around programs like cannabis and liquor and cigarettes and beer and wine and everything else that's a regulated. I mean, they make it for organic fruit, they make it for non-organic fruit, they make it for vegetables. So, I mean, that's just the direction this is going in. I mean, I know there are going to be issues, and I think they know that too. And so, they're going to cut me off and take me off the stage. I would like to make one last kind of plea, which is, there's been a lot of, and then I'm going to get off stage. There's been a lot of disunity. And I think that we could cast blame in a lot of different directions for that, but this is not the time for that anymore. I think your question is completely indicative of some of those fears and concerns, and I think at the bottom of all this, at the end of the day, this industry stands together or falls together, and I hope that we'll all stand together when real issues come up and real problems come up, and that everybody continues to protect each other, even when there are disagreements, even when there are issues that you don't all agree with each other or with us on. So my door is always open. You can always find me if you have more questions. Can I answer any more questions, or am I done?
You may not.
So,
Thank you, Amy. If I could ask